Wish upon a star my ass, Disney. When do I get my wish of no logos, huh? When do I get my wish? Also, it looks like the Disney castle is perched next to a waterfall, and that's just some poor planning if they want it to hold its value through the next 100 years of natural erosion in a challenging castle market.
Once upon a time,
There was narration and reading.
there was a young man who believed there was nothing more important than a wish. Not just any wish, of course. The one that drives your heart.
Call me cynical, but the one wish that drove my heart as a young man was not Disney appropriate.
He studied the magic of the world tirelessly and became a mighty sorcerer.
I suppose I was naive to hope Disney would paint a picture of a man who studied the world's magic and figured out it was all explainable through science, and that the only real magic out there is the human knack for confirmation bias and a lack of critical thinking. More importantly, Disney, I hope you're ready for the swarm of Dungeons & Dragons nerds you just pissed off because wizards are the ones who have to learn their magic and Maybelline that shit, whereas sorcerers are just born with it. Roll for initiative, nerds.
He and his loyal wife found the most perfect island deep in the Mediterranean Sea.
What was it, Atlantis? I don't think Asha is using the word deep correctly.
Now you're done talking?
Valentina's never done talking.
Kids.
Oh, this is it! No, it can't be a coincidence the king is calling a wish ceremony on your birthday.
It can. That's why we have a word for it. Disney gets shitty when we play their music, so get ready for a lot of me rehashing the dumb songs in this movie, starting with this one. Asha is singing that here in Roses, the greatest creations are all on display, but delivering this line as a swarm of butterflies leaves a man's head appears to be setting the bar rather low. The best thing about Valentino is that he's being voiced by the always enjoyable Alan Tudyk. Other than that, this goat is a dick and a liability. Asha sings that in Rosas, you can go to space, and yet this boat is not even close to space-worthy. I don't think these kids would even survive takeoff. Asha may be singing about Helm's Deep, but it feels a hell of a lot like she's about to introduce the family madrigal. Not asking about possible food allergies before jamming random charcuterie accoutrements into a visitor's mouth with your filthy animated digits. So this part of the song's position explains that when you turn 18, the king takes your wish from you and keeps it safe during your compulsory ceremony, and then you forget the whole thing. This is a fucking cult! And if that wasn't bad enough, Asha just attempted to rhyme glow with powerful.
Do you really forget your wish once you give it?
You forget without regret.
The fact that they could be talking about my virginity or Alzheimer's. Why are all these baked goods uncovered? Is Dahlia wishing for ants? Because this is how you grant your wish for ants.
My best friend, the king's apprentice.
Apprentice to the king, who is also a sorcerer? I see you, Disney, but do you see that now I just want to watch a different movie with 100% more Nicolas Cage?
Cookies? Cookies!
Not a single one of these asshats asks if they can have a cookie.
Yes! Ugh. Life is so unfair.
And you see, I shall never be king. And you will never be certain if any of this movie is original or just an excuse to make 100 Disney references in 84 minutes or less.
The apprentice should always keep the fire going, because the king likes his tea hot.
So she's not actually applying to be the apprentice to a powerful sorcerer king at all, is she? She's going to be a fucking intern.
Some items might seem strange, but why a sorcerer needs what a sorcerer needs is not your concern.
He's into some kinky shit, but it's okay because he's in charge, and shh, don't tell. Disney baking these creepy workplace expectations right into our kids for 100 years.
Wow.
I hear the gasp and exclamation, but the problem is I see nothing worthy of this reaction.
The book is dangerous.
Why have it?
If it was so dangerous, you would think the spell he used to protect it would stop a person from taking it instead of just annoying them in hopes they give up and walk away.
Do we call that a talent?
Magnifico just asked if drawing requires talent.
How old were you when he passed?
12.
Nothing like the killing off of a parent to shortcut your way to some character empathy. I wasn't sure until now, but it's officially a Disney movie.
My entire family, our lands were destroyed by selfish, greedy thieves.
This is one of those situations where giving us more of this backstory, and hell, even letting us see what happened, would have helped us understand this character's motivations.
But if I am to trust you, I need to know you understand just how important they are.
They?
Yes, Asha, he is pronoun gaming when he should have just said wishes, the name of the movie. The suspense is killing no one.
People think wishes are just ideas. But no, they are a part of your heart.
Oh. He's singing, and I quote, "You pull me in like some kind of wind." And I don't think this is how wind works. This Aurora dress almost pushed us into an immediate Disney Easter egg bonus round until I realized that awarding an accurate number of sins would mean identifying every single fucking reference. I love being accurate with the sin count. So here's a nice round 101 CinemaSins instead. This woman's wish was to drive a boat. You mustn't be afraid to wish a little bigger, darling.
It is my responsibility to only grant the wishes I am sure are good for Rosas.
So most of these wishes will never be granted?
I hate to side with the cult leader, but doesn't King Magnifico have a good point? A vague wish could be disastrous. And what if everyone wishes for the same thing and we end up with a Bruce Almighty apocalypse? Or season 7, episode 21 of The X-Files?
The wishes you're not going to grant, you could just give them back. Then, I don't know, the people can try to pursue them themselves?
Or it would create resentment between people who have had their wishes granted and those who are forced to work for them. I don't think Asha has really thought through the trickle-down wishconomics of her plan here.
My Saba is good. The people of Rosas are good.
Citations needed. Also, good people can do bad shit. It happens all the time. Hell, yesterday I didn't recycle a coffee cup and accidentally crop dusted a group of teenagers on the bus. And I only wished for one of those things.
Why would you want me to know a wish that can never be?
But it's your wish.
Asha could quickly exclaim, "You wanted to play the lute real good," and defuse the situation. But I guess that's a story for another time or some shit.
Asha!
Maybe if Disney characters talked about their problems instead of singing into nature about them, we'd see some actual resolution and personal growth. Asha sings about how she may be young, but she knows she isn't wrong. Wait till she hits her 30s and finds out you can be young, right, wrong, and old all at the same time. In case you hadn't realized it, this song is called Wish. And while it's a catchy number, I think we can make it more fit for purpose. So I look up at the screen to guide me and throw critique to every boring scene. If having seen too many films is what drives me, then let me be the first to nitpick and whine. So I roll credits to have something more for us than this. So I roll credits to have something more for us than this. Scene doesn't contain it. Oh, I don't want to die!
Can you feel that?
Seriously, why is he happy about this sudden new dawn? This could be anything from a nuke to a supernova to a f***ing seizure. At the very least, it deserves some scrutiny over immediate ecstasy.
I believe I have just been threatened.
This seems like a leap, and it is, but only because the movie hasn't put much effort into explaining the source of Magnifico's paranoia. While nothing seemingly all that wrong happened, I still feel like this horse was just violated.
This is crazy.
We love crazy!
Oh, I'm seeing things.
Just wait till you try eating one of the fuckers.
That scares chewy.
Not knowing when your magic has gone bad. You always gotta check the spell by date.
You're a star!
Scene doesn't contain it. Oh, I don't want to die!
Hey, thanks for not eating me, John.
Don't mention it, Bambi.
Story time, fuckers. Bambi came out in 1942 and Robin Hood came out in 1973. And based on the life expectancy I've assigned to fictional bears and deers, there's no way these two should be alive at the same time.
You mean we take them back ourselves?
Mediocre movie about magic suddenly becomes a mediocre heist movie.
But if we take them, isn't that stealing? I mean, we can't Right. They don't belong to him, do they?
I'm not familiar with the legislature of Rosas, but I would argue that since the wishes were willingly given over, that legally, yes, they do belong to him, especially since Magnifico is the one making the rules.
Why is there nothing?
Burning books.
When you're threatened, you do not breathe. You focus.
This asshole doesn't pass out.
I made a wish on a star.
What are you, 5?
Gizmo would be excellent at CinemaSins. These chickens giving zero fucks about their kids.
I promise my wish won't harm or affect any of you.
Promises still feels also wasted on myself. I mean, Asha doesn't learn a lesson about making promises you don't know you can keep.
Magnifico could come back at any time.
And that's why you're gonna stall him. Please and thank you, best friend ever.
Teaching our kids the wonders of emotional blackmail. The extent of Star's magic seems to be giving life and making everything more annoying. Are we sure this little guy is not God?
Hi, I'm Dahlia. I make your Magnifico cookies.
This shot shows that Dahlia doesn't decorate both sides of her sweet treats, which means she just showed him a blank cookie.
That's actually a door. And Magnifico waved his hand and it just... Okay, how about this?
Random hand gestures aren't working. What is this sorcery and how does it work? Oh, yeah, it's probably sorcery. Now we see Star just throw magic at the door to make it open, and it feels even more like all the times it's been dicking around, it could have actually been solving problems.
Since we're asking, what if we want to change our wish?
But if you can't remember what your wish was, how would you know you'd want to change it?
Anyone who helps the traitor, anyone who lets me down, your wish will never be granted.
The movie has done such a bad job at explaining the depth of his villainy that it's now apparently my responsibility to make it absolutely clear that Magnifico is a fascist. People who keep their pockets filled with likeness cookies. Now he's singing about the 14 wishes he granted last year and saying that this is a high percentage. And there are way too many people in Roses to even consider this to be true. This guy is terrible enough on his own that it seems unnecessary to bring in this whole dark magic storyline that makes it seem like he was mostly good until he got corrupted. It honestly makes him more of a sympathetic figure than he deserves to be. And worse still, I think there was just an attempt to rhyme measures with tethered, straight up murdering the Pez dispensers that you unnecessarily imbued with life.
I've just the place for us to work.
So he danced his ass all the way upstairs to then go down a bunch of stairs as some sort of metaphor about his descent into evil or fall from grace or bad architectural design.
I must have it.
This sorcerer was just defeated by shelving.
Is this yarn?
These knights were just defeated by yarn. Magic yarn, yes, but we have no evidence that it is in any way stronger than normal yarn.
From one domesticated animal to another. Help us!
Either this talking goat speaks horse or these horses speak English, and both are nonsense.
We've run out of land.
Colonialism.
I should never have wished.
Thing I'm sure Disney is thinking somehow makes its way into the script.
I cannot swim!
This is totally the type of decision you want to include and make as humorous as possible in your children's movie. The animator decided to hang an apple here, so we know the king is an asshole.
I have believed in you from the moment we met. We built this kingdom together.
And yet the seedy dungeon complete with skulls, cobwebs, and a creepy f***ing cauldron on the blueprints didn't raise any red flags.
I know, a talking mouse.
Movie knows the talking animal gag is becoming overused, but does it anyway.
I have an important message for you. You once said generosity is the true essence of Rosas. I can see your fear, but Rosas needs your help now. Love, Asha.
You are in a time of crisis, and this is the message you send? What the heck does that even mean? Reduce taxes? Want them eat cake? How about a little specificity, Asha?
It's a dead end.
A dead end with unsanded mahogany.
Isn't it great when Disney creates resourceful, creative, and determined characters and then f***s all that out the window in favor of dumb luck? If you're looking for a baffling way to phrase a fight song, then you're gonna love it when Asha sings, "If we don't fight, he knows he wins. Not allowed, knowing what I know now." It's a powerfully profound, nonsensical word soup. Cool, the children of the revolution won't be fooled again, but instead of trying to overthrow the king, can't you just leave? Wouldn't the more powerful message be that no one can steal your wish from you, and that's what strips the king of his power? Damn it, I should write for Disney! To be clear, I should not. Also, Magnifico is the worst, but up until today, this whole group thought he was the best. So it's taken maybe a few hours at most for them to go from being perfectly content about life to let's start a motherfucking revolution? Are we seriously f***ing around with a shadow puppet play, or is there some actual planning happening here? Not knowing that doing a rendition of Stomp is a terrible way to keep your hidden hidey hole hidden. The queen sings about seeing too many bad things that she can't keep count. I'm wondering why we've seen so few bad things that it's hard to account for how pissed off everyone is right now.
Then Star needs to leave, like right now.
No. If anyone's leaving, it's gotta be you.
The humor gained from Goat Boy saying this gets crushed under the awkwardness of no one acknowledging it.
Fantasyland in the sky, huh? How about Neverland?
I see what you did there, Disney, but does Magnifico see what he did there? Does he know Neverland is an actual thing? Because that's the only way this pun makes sense and raises a lot more questions. Also, it's weird how some of the wishes are practical and some involve breaking the laws of physics and maybe even reality. The movie clearly understands that not all wishes are the same in their ability to be fulfilled, and some are not even safe. So even though Magnifico may be misguided by his hunger for power and evil magic, he wasn't completely wrong, and the movie doesn't go far enough to show how my childhood wish to have chainsaws for hands was a terrible idea and would not have been good for anyone, including myself, for no other reason than it would have been impossible to wipe properly.
The perfect nanny for your horrible children.
Popping this one!
I hope one of these bubbles has planes in it. While the spinal injuries involved are, I'm sure, hilarious, did they all have to come up at the same time? Couldn't they have sung one less song and used that time to make a couple extra trips?
What do I do with this?
Apparently, he just hoped that King Magnifico walks under a tree at the perfect time to be squished by a giant fruit. This seems oddly specific and not entirely helpful.
This is it, everyone. First, we open the roof.
Wait a minute. How, the what, the why, the would the roof be openable? If Magnifico designed this place and knew this is where the wishes were going to be kept, why would he give it a removable roof?
The queen said we need to look for giant pulleys.
Wait another minute. How the double what the why the does the sorcerer need pulleys? He uses magic to open the secret wish room, but pulleys to operate the skylight that shouldn't even be there? Did he deliberately design his place to be heisted? All available evidence suggests that Star is not on your side, Asha.
This reads like a recipe book for the foul and the savage.
Not specifying landfowl or waterfowl.
scare you at all.
Asha would be excellent at sorcery sins.
It won't move.
Probably because the magical creature from the galactic heavens is for some reason using brute force to help you pull the rope instead of magic. They're not even using both knobs.
No one can bring him back from this. Embrace forbidden magic just once, and you commit to it for eternity.
Oh, okay. So we're going to believe everything we read in the evil book and not even try? Because no one has ever committed a lie to posterity before. Like I always say, believe everything you read or see on social media.
Well, it's not falling if you jump.
It is. They really just vented all the wishes into the air, not knowing for sure if they would find their way back to the rightful owner or just float away like helium balloons, didn't they?
Are those our wishes?
Must be.
The wishes are free.
I cannot stress this enough. Why would the king have designed an openable roof for his fortress of wishitude?
It doesn't matter. You're too late.
Magnifico's never too late.
So if Magnifico knew this was a distraction and sent Simon to hunt Asha instead, where the has he been in the meantime, and why would he allow the wishes to be released? Is this really the best time to be washing his tights?
You really think you can take me down?
Thanks, John.
Oh, Brother Bear, when the did you have time to arrange this ex machina? I would have given all the sins back if the movie just went full The Revenant.
How's the whole taking your wish into your own hands working out for you? Oh, wait. I don't actually care.
Congrats on officially summing up my feelings about any and all of this.
Mirrors, mirrors on the wall.
None of these are mirrors, they're jumbotrons at best.
You really need to learn to give up.
You really need to learn to stop doing the most basic villain ever. You know, it's really hard to respect a villain that can be defeated by a choir.
Stop!
The Sorcerer Supreme's best defense against hope is a big toxic fart spell. Wait, why would the evil magic staff react to random singing by trapping its owner? Listen, you can say it's magic all you like, but you should really be blaming Aladdin's logic puzzle trapping Jafar for setting the sorcerer defeating bar too high. So, are we happy or upset that there wasn't still good in him? Feels like the story is trying to present a nuanced view of good and evil and an absolutist view of good and evil at the same time. Didn't he eat this trio's wishes? I feel like these are about as likely to come back as the cheeseburger I had for lunch. And if that did come back, I wouldn't be excited about it. Oh, I see. They're not even going to attempt democracy.
This is more than I could have ever dreamed possible.
Good thing the movie isn't named Dream.
Oh, Star, how can we ever thank you?
That's easy. Just keep wishing.
That wasn't the moral of the story at all. The whole point is that the magic of wishing is in the beauty of pursuing those wishes yourself. You know, the destination is the journey and right? Please tell me the moral wasn't just wishing for more wishes. This movie is so generic and dull that I will hitherto refer to it for all time as A Star is Born. 100 years of Disney bullshit in the credits. Oh, I get it. Sabino turned 100 and so did Disney. It's all a realization of his wish, not Magnifico's. For a second, I thought this story was a metaphor for Walt and his Nazi-ish tendencies.
That was the worst birthday I think I ever had.
Valentina's never done talking.
If only we could understand you.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
Come on. They've just been asking me to do all kinds of stuff. Gizmo, get the dildos. Gizmo, try out the dildos. How are the dildos?
Captain's log, stardate 2263.2.
To all your questions, there's one very simple answer.
Which is...
Take too many drugs.
You yourself say forbidden magic is not the way.
This is the way.
I make my third wish. I wish to be an all-powerful genie!
From one domesticated animal to another.
I still got what I wanted.
I'm the magic man now.
Yeah, I know.
Okay? So get ready for some tricks up these sleeves, all right?
My bubbles.
Phenomenal cosmic powers!
Itty bitty living space.
Down, 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 shovel guitar, shovel guitar. Somebody wants to play shovel guitar.
Leslie's been playing shovel guitar for about an hour now.